hosted us at the house, and we had a lot of get-togethers and talks and stuff. And Boy Scouting has some rules, and of course, one of them is you don't consume alcohol. I mean, it's a youth organization, right? Well, when we would have the adult planning meetings, Marshall always made sure to communicate that it was what he called a non-scouting function. That was his way of saying it was a social gathering. Even though we're going to talk about scouts, it was not official. That way we didn't break any of the rules. So, and he had a really good rapport with the youth that he worked with. Marshall and I had a lot in common in the sense that when we were starting Troop 608, neither one of us had kids in the program. Marshall had kids long gone out of the program, and I didn't at that point have kids yet. So he and I were in it for the fun, and I want to thank Phyllis especially for sharing him with us all those weekends and all those times, because not everybody would sign up to sleep on the ground willingly, but Marshall was more than happy to go with the troop and go on hikes and camping and things like that. But Monsignor talked about freeze-dried food. Marshall would not eat freeze-dried food. Okay, Marshall was quite the chef and showed his cooking prowess on many events. And several times we would make cobblers in the Dutch oven, where you put the charcoals on, you put all your fruit and your cake and stuff. And the boys were a lot of times a little lazy because they didn't like to go through all the work of having to do that. But they would kind of observe what we were doing, and the cobbler would be cooking, and we would get ready to take it off the fire. And Marshall would open the cobbler, and he'd go, "It's ruined. It's ruined." And so the boys would go away, and then he'd say, "Okay, we can have cobbler now." So that's Marshall in a nutshell. Of course, he would give the kids one to have cobbler. But more importantly, he would teach them how to make their own cobbler and make sure that they could be successful in doing that. So again, just a great friend, just a great man, and gotten to know the family over the years. Haven't been as close lately, but I'll tell you this, with Marshall, with all of his challenges that he went through in the last couple of years with his cancer and such, he was still there at the troop functions. He would come to the committee meetings, he would come to the courts of honor, and he would sit on review boards for the boys as they run up for ranks. And so he didn't let that stop him. Pretty much unless Phyllis absolutely said, "No, you can't go," he would sneak out and try to go to as many scout functions as he could. And so we love Marshall, and our prayers and condolences are with the entire family, and his memory is eternal in all of the scouts and adults and everybody whose lives he touched. So thanks for letting me say a few words. God bless.
Thank you, Jim.